Welcome back, everyone. We're diving deep today, really deep into the fascinating world of self-expression.
It's all about that voice we have inside and how we let it out.
Exactly. And we're focusing on the throat chakra, that energy center that's all about communication and authenticity.
It's more than just speaking, though.
Oh, absolutely. It's about expressing ourselves in all sorts of ways.
Creatively.
Truthfully.
Right, finding our genuine voice.
Yeah.
So our inspiration for this deep dive, a blog post
Oh, cool.
called 50 Throat Chakra Journal Prompts.
Catchy title.
It is. From a website called La Stallion, published, just a few days ago, December 25th, 2024.
Very recent then.
Very. Now, we won't be going through all 50 prompts, of course.
That'd be a lot.
Right. We've picked out some that are really thought-provoking, though. Ones to get you thinking about, how you communicate.
How to unlock that power in your voice.
Yes. For anyone who might be new to this whole chakra thing, they're energy centers in our body, each associated with a different part of, us, like our being.
Exactly.
And the throat chakra, specifically, it's all about speaking your truth, being clear in how you express yourself, and connecting with your creative side.
Okay, so let's jump into those prompts.
Okay.
The first few are all about exploring your communication. Prompt number 1 asks us to think about a time when we felt, held back.
Held back?
Yeah, like we couldn't express ourselves fully.
I see. Why was it so hard to speak up in that moment?
I think this prompt can be really eye-opening because it forces us to think about the reasons we hold back.
Like, what's going on underneath?
Exactly. Is it a fear of judgment, maybe lack of confidence, or maybe a time in the past when we felt, unheard or dismissed?
Oh, yeah. Those past experiences can really stick with you.
They do. For me, it used to be speaking up in meetings at work.
Work situations can be tough.
So tough. I was always worried about saying the wrong thing or sounding foolish.
That makes sense. But prompt number 2, it goes in the opposite direction.
Oh, interesting.
It asks about a time when you felt truly heard.
Heard and understood.
Yes. What made that experience so special, and how did it affect, how open you felt in communicating?
Wow, that's a good one. It makes you realize how much we all want that feeling of validation. When we're talking to others. I remember once I was going through a tough time personally.
We all have those times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I confided in a close friend, and she just listened. No judgment. It made me feel so safe to just open up.
Exactly. When we feel safe and heard, it's like a weight lifts, and then we can communicate so much more freely.
It really does. Like that fear of being judged just melts away. Now, prompt number 4 brings up communication styles. It asks what healthy communication means to us. What are the things we should aim for when we're interacting?
That's a tough one. So many different ways to communicate, right?
Oh, many. And I think what's healthy can be different for different people, different situations, too. But in general, what do you think?
I think active listening is key. And empathy, respect for different perspectives, and being clear about what we need. Setting boundaries, too.
Oh, boundaries are huge. It's about being able to stand up for ourselves.
But doing it respectfully.
Yes, respectfully and authentically.
Which brings us perfectly to the next section,
Oh.
honoring your authentic voice.
I love that.
Prompt number 11 asks, what does it mean to really honor your voice without that fear of judgment?
Ooh, that's a big one for me. I think it means recognizing that our voice has value, simply because it's ours. We don't need anyone else's okay to express ourselves authentically.
You got it. It's trusting what you know deep down.
And letting yourself speak your truth, even if it's different from what other people expect.
Even if it's different from what you think they want to hear.
Right. So how do we actually do that? Put it into practice, I mean. Prompt number 12 makes us think about a time when we really did speak up for ourselves. What happened? How did it feel to just, stand in your truth?
Ooh, that's powerful. I think this prompt reminds us of how strong we are, resilient.
Yes.
It's about remembering that we do have a voice and we deserve to be heard, but it can be a struggle.
For sure. Especially if you're someone who's always trying to please people.
Or someone who hates conflict.
Which is why prompt number 16 is so important. It asks about finding that balance between speaking and listening.
Because it's not always about making your point, right?
Right.
It's also about being open to what other people have to say.
It's like finding that sweet spot,
Where you can be your true self.
and still connect with others, really understand them.
I like that. Finding that sweet spot. Yeah, it's a dance, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
But sometimes, we get stuck.
Oh, yeah. those pesky communication blocks.
That's our next set of prompts, actually. Overcoming communication blocks. It's all about those things inside us that, I don't know, that stop us from truly expressing ourselves.
Those inner obstacles, they can be sneaky too.
They really can. You might not even realize they're there.
Until you start digging a little.
Exactly. And prompt number 21, it really encourages us to do that digging.
Self-reflection time.
It is. It asks us to think about, well, to identify those patterns we have, those habits that keep our voice quiet.
The things we do over and over.
Maybe we're afraid of confrontation.
Yeah.
Or we just, I don't know, second guess ourselves before we even say anything.
It's like those patterns, they get so ingrained.
They do.
And they're hard to break. But you got to see them first.
Oh, that's so true. Recognize them, I mean. And then prompt 22, it goes to the core of something so many people struggle with, I think.
What's that?
Fear.
Oh, yeah.
For fear of being misunderstood.
Or rejected.
When we try to be our true selves.
It asks us to think about where those fears come from, where they started.
Like, are they rooted in things that happened to us? Past experiences?
I think so, often. It's like our past leaves these little energetic marks.
On our throat chakra.
Right. And then we hesitate to open up again. Maybe someone shut us down when we were kids, when we tried to share our opinions.
Or a relationship went bad, you know? And we ended up feeling like our thoughts and feelings didn't matter.
Exactly. Invalidated. But prompt 30 offers a way to deal with that, to move through those fears.
It suggests journaling, getting those unspoken emotions out.
Unspoken, maybe even unfelt.
Yeah. The ones that are clogging up that throat chakra.
Journaling can be so powerful.
It is. Like creating this safe space.
Yeah.
To just let it all out. Those thoughts and feelings we might not be ready to say out loud.
And sometimes just getting it on paper, that's enough.
To start to shift things.
Energetically.
Now, this next section, I'm really excited about this one.
What is it?
It's called Connecting with Creativity and Expression. I love that it highlights the creative side of the throat chakra.
Yeah. It's more than just talking.
So much more. It's about art, movement, music, anything that lets you tap into that creative flow.
Finding that flow state.
Yes. Prompt 31 asks us to think about a creative activity we enjoy, one that lets us express how we feel. Could be painting or writing or dancing. I think it's amazing how these activities can, help us release emotions.
Like a moving meditation almost.
I love that. And then prompt 35 takes it a step further.
Oh.
It encourages us to share what we create.
Ooh, that's a big step.
It is. It can be scary to put yourself out there like that, especially if you're used to keeping your creative side private.
So true. What do you think stops people from sharing?
Fear, probably. Fear of judgment, rejection, or maybe just thinking, that what you create isn't good enough.
I think it's brave to share your art with the world.
It is. And empowering. It's like saying, this is part of me. Take it or leave it.
I love that. Ownership.
Yeah. And prompt 40, it really sums up that link between art and the throat chakra.
How so?
It makes us think about how experiencing art, whether we're creating it or just, enjoying someone else's work, can help that energy center to unblock and balance it.
Art has this way of touching us, doesn't it? Inspiring us, connecting us.
It does. And when we really let ourselves be present with art.
Present.
Yeah, like fully engaged with it. It helps us find our own creative spark.
And express ourselves more authentically.
Exactly. It's like art gives a voice to, to the unspoken, both inside us and in the world around us. So the final section of prompts is all about setting intentions for self-expression. It seems like after all that reflection we've been doing, now it's time to actually do something.
To take action.
Yes. Prompt 41 asks us to pick one area in our lives where we want to speak up more openly and authentically.
It could be relationships, or work, or maybe even just how we talk to ourselves.
That's a good one, our inner dialogue. So it's about figuring out where we feel stuck.
Or blocked.
And setting a goal, to change that dynamic.
Make things flow better.
Exactly. And prompt 42. It encourages us to find a mantra or an affirmation, something to help us express our truth.
Words with power.
They do have power, don't they? What are some affirmations that you like?
I love "my voice matters." Or "I am worthy of being heard."
Oh, those are good.
And I express myself with clarity and confidence. Saying those things over and over, it can really change how we think about ourselves.
It's like reprogramming our minds almost.
And building up that belief in ourselves.
Us giving ourselves a little pep talk. A reminder that we can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we're giving ourselves permission to be who we are, to speak our truth.
Exactly.
Okay, and then we have prompt number 50, the last one. And it kind of brings everything together, ties it all up.
How so?
Well, it says that having a balanced throat chakra, it isn't just about, saying what you think.
There's more to it.
It's about, I don't know, living authentically, aligning with your purpose, like who you are at your core.
Deep stuff.
It is deep. When your throat chakra is balanced, you communicate clearly, yes, but you're also expressing your true self in everything you do.
Ah, I see. Your words and your actions, they're all in sync.
Exactly. And you can go after what you want, manifest your desires with more, I don't know, clarity, purpose.
Because you know who you are.
Yes. It's like your whole being becomes a channel for expressing, well, the real you.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Thanks. Wow, it's been such an interesting deep dive, exploring all these prompts.
They really make you think.
As we wrap up, is there one last question, something to really make our listeners think, that you'd like to leave them with?
Well, thinking about all these prompts, what's one small step you can take today to honor that authentic voice inside you?
Oh, I love that.
Could be journaling about a fear you have, one that's holding you back. Or maybe doing something creative, something you love. Or even just setting an intention to speak up a little more confidently. In one specific situation, whatever feels right for you.
Such a good challenge. And everyone, I really encourage you to check out all 50 of these prompts on Lestallion's blog. They're full of such great insights, and you might be surprised what you discover about yourself.
It's a journey worth taking.
It is. And remember, your voice matters. It's a gift to yourself and to the world.
Don't be afraid to use it.
Thanks for joining us today on this deep dive into the power of the throat chakra and the magic of journaling. Until next time, everyone, keep exploring, keep expressing, and keep shining your light.